Special products are simply special cases of multiplying certain types of binomials together. We'll be discussing these 5 special products: product of the sum and difference of two terms, square of a binomial, cube of a binomial, square of a trinomial, and product of a binomial and a trinomial. Product of the sum and difference of two terms. If we have a plus b times a minus b, so this is the sum and this one is the difference, usually we are using FOIL method to multiply these binomials. Now let's try to use FOIL method in solving this. We have a plus b times a minus b. In FOIL method, f stands for the first terms. So let us multiply the first terms. We have a times a. It will give you a squared. Then O from the FOIL method means outer terms. Our outer terms here are a and negative b. A times negative b, it will give you negative ab. Then next is the inner terms. Our inner terms are b and a. So b times a will just give you positive ab. And for L, which means last terms, you just have to multiply b and negative b. B times negative b, you will have negative b squared. Then after that, you have to combine the like terms. Our like terms here are negative ab and positive ab. They have different signs, so you have to subtract them. ab minus ab will give us 0. So we may just cancel it out since it's already 0. Now we only have a squared and then negative b squared. And this is already the final answer. So it means that in solving the product of the sum and difference of two terms, you may not solve for the outer terms and the inner terms. The only thing that you have to multiply are the first terms and the last terms. Or just remember these steps. First, multiply the first terms, then multiply the last terms. Let us try this with some examples. We have here 2x plus 3 times 2x minus 3, sum and difference. To apply these steps, we just have to multiply the first terms, which are 2x times 2x, and the last terms, which are 3 times negative 3. Let's start with the first terms. 2x times 2x, you will have 4x squared. Then 3 times negative 3, you will have negative 9. So the answer is 4x squared minus 9. Another example. We have 5a cubed plus 7b raised to 4 times 5a cubed minus 7b raised to 4. So we have sum and difference of two terms. Again, first step, multiply the first terms. Our first terms are 5a cubed times 5a cubed. 5 times 5 is 25. And a cubed times a cubed, we just have to add their exponents. You will have a raised to 6. And then, for the last terms, we have positive 7b raised to 4 and negative 7b raised to 4. So, positive 7 times negative 7, you will have negative 49. And b raised to 4 times b raised to 4, you just have to add their exponent. 4 plus 4, you'll have 8. So the answer is 25a raised to 6 minus 49b raised to 8. Square of a binomial. Here's an example. We have a plus b raised to 2. We call it square of a binomial because the binomial is being raised to 2. This square of a binomial is just the same with a plus b times a plus b. This is the expanded form of a plus b squared. And usually, we are applying FOIL method to solve for this. Let us try to use FOIL method. So we have FOIL. F for the first terms, a times a, that will be a squared. Then outer term, we have a times b, we have positive ab. Then inner terms, b times a, that is also positive ab. And for the last terms or letter L, we have b times b and it will be b squared. This is how we solve for it using FOIL method. Then after that, you have to combine the like terms. AB plus AB. Just copy a squared. Then AB plus AB, you will have positive 2AB. And then copy positive b squared. And this will be your answer. But actually, you can solve the square of binomial without applying FOIL method. Just observe the pattern that we have obtained from our answer. First term is just the square of our first term. Then last term is the square of our last term. And for the middle term, you just have to multiply first and last term times 2. It means that every time you will encounter a binomial that is raised to 2, you just have to follow this pattern, or just look at the steps. First, square the first term. The first term here is a. When you square it, it will be a times a. A times a, you will have a squared. Then, second step, multiply the first and second terms. So we have a as the first term, b as the second term. A times b is equal to ab. Then, times 2. ab times 2, you will have 2ab. And the last step, square the second term. The second term here is b. When you square it, it means you will multiply it to itself. B times b, you will have b squared. Then, if in case your binomial is negative, the second term of your final answer will also be negative. Let us try this in our example. A plus 5 squared. A plus 5 squared. Following the steps, let's solve for this. So first, square the first term. The first term here is a. So a times a, you will have a squared. Then, for second step, multiply the first and second term. So first term is a and second term is 5. A times 5 is 5a. Then times 2. 5a times 2, you will have positive 10a because 5 times 2 is 10. Just copy the variable a. Then third step, square the second term. The second term here is 5. So 5 times 5, you will have positive 25. And that's it. That will be your answer. You can actually solve it mentally. Just keep on practicing these 3 steps. Let's try this again. Second example, we have 3x minus 2y. First step, square the first term. 3x times 3x, you will have 9x squared. 3 times 3 is 9. X times x is x squared. Then, second step, multiply the first, which is 3x, and the second term, which is negative 2y. 3x times negative 2y. So let's start with the numerical coefficient. 3 times negative 2, you will have negative 6. And then x times y will be xy. Okay, last step, square the second term. The second term we have here is negative 2y. So negative 2y times negative 2y, you will have positive 4y squared. So the answer is 9x squared minus 6xy plus 4y squared. So even without using FOIL method, you will be able to solve for the square of a binomial mentally. Just remember these 3 steps. For cube of a binomial, like a plus b raised to 3, where the first term is A and the second term is B, your answer will be in 4 terms. 1, 2, 3, 4. To solve for this, you just have to follow the steps. First, cube the first term, which is the A. Second, square the first term times the second term, then multiply by 3. Third, square the second term times the first term, then multiply by 3. And the last step, just cube the second term. Let us try this with our example. Here we have 2x plus 5 raised to 3. So this is an example of cube of a binomial. Let's start with the first step, cube the first term. So the first term here is 2x. We just have to cube 2x. It means 2 times 2 times 2. So 2 times 2 is 4 times another 2, that will be 8. We'll have 8 and then x raised to 3. So we just have to multiply x times x times x, and that will be x cubed. Then, second step, square the first term. So that is 2x times 2x, and you will have 4x squared. Then, times the second term. So the second term is 5. 4x squared times 5, that will be 20x squared, because 5 times 4 is 20. After that, multiply by 3. So 20 times 3, you will have positive 60x squared. Okay, third step, square the second term. Second term is 5, so 5 times 5, that will be 25. Times the first term is 2x. 25 times 2x, you will have 50x. 25 times 2 is 50. After that, multiply by 3. 50 times 3, you will have positive 150x. And last step, we have cube the second term. So we have 5 as our second term. Cube, it means 5 times 5 times 5. 5 times 5 is 25. Times another 5, you will have 125. Then after that, combine like terms. Okay, as you can see, there are no like terms. So therefore, that will be your final answer. Let's try another example. A minus 6b cubed. Following these steps again. So we have to cube the first term. First term is a. So a times a times a, you will have a cubed. A raised to 3. Next, second step, square the first term times the second term. Square the first term, so we have a, and that will be a squared. Then times the second term. The second term we have here is negative 6b. So times negative 6b, that will be 6a squared b. Then multiply by 3. 6 times 3, you will have 18. Then copy the variable a squared and b. Next, third step, square the second term times the first term. Square the second term, will have 6b times negative 6b times negative 6b. It will be positive 36b squared. Times the first term, so times a, you will have 36ab squared. We just added a. Then multiply by 3. So 36 times 3, you will have 108. Then copy the variable a and b squared. Let us now proceed with the last step. Cube the second term. The second term is negative 6b. So to cube it, it will be negative 6 times negative 6. That will be positive 36. Times another negative 6. It will be negative 216. Then for the variable b, b times b times b, it will be b cubed. So that's it. That will be the final answer. Square of a trinomial. For example, a plus b plus c, that is a trinomial, raised to 2, so we call it square of a trinomial. And to solve for this, you just have to follow these steps. Okay, it's quite long, but it is actually easy to remember because they are just repeating. First, square the first term, then the second term, then the third term. Fourth, multiply first and second term, then times 2. Fifth, multiply first and third term, then times 2. And the last one, multiply second and third term, then times 2. Let's see this in our example. We have 2x plus 3y plus 5. So this is a square of a trinomial. First step, square the first term. The first term is 2x. So when you square this, 2x times 2x, and you will have an answer of 4x squared. Then, for the second step, square the second term. So we have 3y. 3y times 3y, it will become positive 9y squared. Third step, square the third term. So we have 5. 5 times 5, that will be 25. Then fourth step, multiply the first and second term. So first and second term, we have 2x and 3y. 2 times 3, that will be 6. Then x and y. Then times 2. So 6xy times 2. 6 times 2, that will be 12. Let's write 12. Then copy the variable xy. Fifth step, multiply first and third term. First is 2x, third term is 5. 2x times 5, you will have 10x, then times 2. So 10x times 2, it will become 20x. Then for the last step, multiply second and third term. Second term is 3y, third term is 5. 3y times 5, that will be 15y. Then times 2. 15y times 2, that will become 30y. Then observe if you can combine like terms. There are no like terms. So that's it. That will be your answer. Let's try another example. We have 3p plus q minus 7r squared. First step, square the first term. First term is 3p. 3p times 3p, you will have an answer of 9p squared. Then, square the second term. Second term is q. Q times q, that will be q squared. Third step, square the third term. So we have negative 7r. Negative 7 times negative 7, that will be positive 49. Then r times r is r squared. Okay. Fourth step, you have to multiply the first and second term. So 3p times q. Then after that, times 2. So 3 times 2, that will be 6p cubed. So we'll have positive 6p cubed. Then, fifth step, multiply first and third term, then times 2. First term is 3p, then third term is negative 7r. 3 times negative 7, that will be negative 21. Copy the variable pr. Then after that, times 2. So 21 times 2, you will have negative 42 pr. And for the last step, multiply second and third term. Second is q, third is negative 7r times 2. So negative 7 times 2, that will be negative 14. Then copy the variable q and r. So we have minus 14QR. Okay, combine like terms. There are no like terms again. Then that's it. That will be your final answer. Product of a binomial and a trinomial of special form. For example, a plus b, so that's the binomial, times a squared minus ab plus b squared. That's the trinomial. So if you have this case, this will just be your pattern. A cubed plus b cubed. It means you just have to cube the first and the second term, and that's it. But please take note that you can only apply this pattern if your trinomial is also in this pattern, wherein the first term and the last term of this trinomial came from the square of the first term and last term of your binomial. And the middle term must be the combination of the two. If the pattern is not like that, you cannot apply this a cubed plus b cubed. Same with the second example. And if the given is really a product of a binomial and a trinomial of special form, you just have to follow these steps. Very easy step. First, cube the first term of the binomial. Second, cube the second term of the binomial. Very easy. But remember, make sure that the trinomial is really in the special form. Let's start with our example. X plus 2 times x squared minus 2x plus 4. Let us check first if this is really a special product. First term and last term must be the square of first and last term of your binomial. So x squared, 2 squared, that is 4. So correct. And then the middle term must be combination of the two. X and 2. So we have 2x. Okay, now let's proceed with the answer. So the answer, you will just be depending on the binomial. Cube the first term of your binomial. So we have x as our first term. We just have to write x cubed. Then second, cube the second term of the binomial. Second term of binomial is 2. So 2 cubed will be 2 times 2 times 2. 2 times 2 is 4, times another 2 is 8. And that's it. We have x cubed plus 8. Next, 3x minus 4 times 9x squared plus 12x plus 16. You look at the pattern. So again, first and last term must come from the square of the first term and last term of your binomial. 3x times 3x, 9x. 4 times 4 is 16. Then, the middle term, combination of the two, 3x times 4 is 12x. So, let us proceed with the answer. Again, just cube the first term, 3x. So, it will be 3 times 3 times 3 and x times x times x. So, 3 times 3 times 3, that will be 27. X times x times x, that will be x cubed. Then last step, cube the second term. Second term is negative 4. So negative 4 times negative 4, that will be 16. Times negative 4, you will have negative 64. And that's it. That will be the answer. Last example. Okay, before we proceed with the answer, we check if this is really a special product. So, first and last term is from the square of first and last term. X squared times x squared, that is x raised to 4. 2y times 2y, that is 4y squared. Then the middle term must be the combination of the two. So x squared times 2y, that is 2x squared y. Okay, that's correct. So let us proceed with the answer. So to get the answer, just cube the first term. X squared, so x squared times x squared times x squared, that will be x raised to 6. And for the second term, we have negative 2y times negative 2y. So negative 2 times negative 2, that's 4, times negative 2, that will be negative 8. And for y, it will be y cubed. That's it. So we have x raised to 6 minus 8y cubed.